can be, but let's see how it fares into VS K9. Historically speaking, VS does have a rough time going into Yami, simply because they don't have a lot of effects that activate in hand. And it looks like Jaxon won the dice roll, and it leads off with the Diabell Star. Uh, Diabell Star effect gets to set and Sinful Spoil Spell Trap, and unfortunately, because it's set, it can't actually ash this. So it goes ahead, gets the Deception, and picks it up, read it a little bit, and Deception is able to tribute send a monster from either the field or the hand to search for an Azamina spell, and he has double Fua. Oh, this is so rough. What is Jaxon gonna do now? It's essentially he's just kind of locked out of a lot of plays here. If VS K9 is one of the few decks that you do not want to give draws to. Oh, looks like Jaxon has opened the Magician's Souls, sending a dark copy of Diabell Star to special summon itself. Normally, this card is used to bridge into your Yami engine if you don't open it and if you only have Diabell. It's going to go Deception, send the Souls, which gets met with an Ash Blossom. Go ahead, it's going to give your opponent 2 draw to search for, to special summon Dark Magician of Destruction. This card allows you to search for a Dark Magician spell, Dark Magician card. So it's most likely going to grab the Gaze of Tamias, and Gaze of Tamias essentially lets you summon out Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. You can do it on your opponent's turn because it does have the cause where if it goes to the grave at the end of the next end phase. So if you do it on your opponent's turn, you get to keep it around on your turn to use. So Jaxon just goes ahead, sets 2, and passes the turn back over because you do not want to give the VS K9 player more draws. So now we're good in Thomas. Let's see what he starts off with. It looks like he has the Rasen. That's probably one of the best starters in the deck. And that's immediately going to be followed up with the Gaze of Tamias to summon out the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon with an Imperm to back it up on the Rasen as well. So go ahead. It's going to shuffle back the Dark Magician Destruction, bring out Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and looks like the Imperm has resolved, so the Rasen does not get the search. Goes ahead, links off the Rasen, summons Rock of the Vanquisher. And let's see if he's able to continue playing through a Dragoon.
That's anything, right? Yeah.
So he's going to go ahead, activate Rock, add back Rasen. And then let's see if he has any more interactions. Goes ahead, activate Case of K9. This searches for a K9 monster. But because Jaxon didn't actually activate any monster effects from the hand or graveyard, he can't actually use the K9 special ability to special summon themselves. If Thomas has another level 5 in his hand, if he can search for Joker and continue playing, but that really just plays into that Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Looks like it is going to be the Joker. He has normal summon already, so he can't actually use K9's effect to normal summon. And also Jaxon doesn't look like he has too many cards. He has a Noroi and a Joker, so Jaxon can look to, discard the last card in his hand, which was the minion. Yummy minion. And it's looking to negate and destroy that Joker. Now, Dragoon, because it did destroy a card, it does go up to that 4,000 attack. And looks like he just passes it back over to Jaxon. Keep in mind that Dragoon will be sent to the graveyard at the end of the turn, but he can punch in for that big 4,000 damage. If Jaxon doesn't have a way to play it, I think if he passes back to the Thomas without developing much of a board, then he's just gonna, it looks like it did activate Rock's effect, and then which gets met, and it's gonna take 5,000 directly to the face with Dragoon. Now, main phase 2 is going to activate Deception. Deception is going to send Dragoon and it's going to search for... it's going to search for the most likely an Azamina fusion spell, either Hollowed Azamina or Deaders. Let's see which one he goes for. All right, so it is in fact going to go for that Debtors. So Debtors is a quick play spell that allows you to fusion summon an Azamina fusion by using other simple spoils. So he's going to activate that immediately. It's going to most likely summon out the Azamina Il Sylvia by sending the Deception, which ends up with another Omni again in your opponent's turn. So this way, it does play around the normal summon of Razen, because if Thomas goes normal summon Razen, you can straight away distribute the Azamina and just buy another turn. Deception does have an effect when at the end phase it does set itself back onto the field, because if it was sent to the graveyard face up, so most likely it's just in the pass. But looking for it does Thomas does have on top of the Razen, he does have Vanquish Soul Start. So even if the Razen gets negated by the Sylvia, he can just activate Start, search for Sue, and then just continue on from with his combo. We already know he has an Earth in the hand in the form of Noroi from last turn. Well, let's just see which way what he's gonna start off with. Yep, so it is going to be the normal summon of Razen, which immediately gets negated by the Sylvia. But now, next, the start's going to come down. And we know Jaxon's out of interactions, as the last card he has is a Deception, which is a continuous spell. And there's realistically, it's just open for Thomas to close out this game. Looks like he is gonna look to grab the Holy Sue. It is at 1 from the most recent limited ban list. Despite Holy Sue at 1, VS K9 still looks actually it's gonna be the Caesar instead. So opting to not go for the Holy Sue, maybe because it doesn't have a dark, and then just with the Caesar just push for a lot more damage. Yep, push, punch for 3k, and then just set one, maybe no set. You can actually go for like a rock here, right? I can actually link off the Caesar for a rock, add the Caesar back, and then on your opponent's turn special summon the Razen back out. And then that gets you into like a dark, so that it turns on your Caesar as alive. First things do is gonna go Debtors to bring back. So Debtors has another effect where you can banish itself to special summon back an Azamina fusion from your grave, which is going to be the Ilizivia. So he immediately gets the Omni back online, flips up Deception Tribute Ilia Sylvia to search for another Azamina spell trap. If he, let's see what he's going for. It's going to be the LZ. So, oh yeah, not just. Sorry, it is search for a single sport. Single spot. No, Azamina spell. Oh, Azamina card. So it's going to be the LZ. LZ uses effect to special summon itself. And let's see what else. And it's a Vec Veiler. That's going to be a Synchro 3 for a Starham.
Yeah, that's fine.
But what? Oh, and LZ, when it goes to the grave, you can search for a Wanted. So now you can go Wanted, summon out Diabell Star, search for Diabell Star, then go in Diabell Star, send the Deception. Realistically, you're only really doing this to draw a card and hopefully draw into your Yummy name. Because he has normal summon.
Summon which? Sending Deception?
Yeah, so it goes here, Diabell Star, sends the Deception. Diabell Star effect to set a simple spoil, spells a trap.
Sure.
But it doesn't look like Thomas has much interactions here. And he has an Earth, so the Caesar most likely will be unaffected this turn. So I don't think Jaxon is able to punch over the Caesar if without access to the Yummy engine. He's going to draw a card. If he draws a Yummy, he still needs to somehow summon a Link 1 to play. But the Starham is level 3. He can make SP Little Knight, but SP's not really gonna do too much. He can make a sync. No, Starham's not a tuner. Or is it a tuner? No, Starham's not a tuner, but the monster you summon off Starham is a tuner. So the best thing you can do is maybe make a SP and banish something.
Sachi?
Oh no, Starham is a light beast, so he can go into the Snatchy. Go into the Snatchy straight away. But the statue is going to be immediately linked off for SP Little Knight targeting the Caesar Valius. That's definitely not correct because Jaxon does know he has the Noroi. That doesn't really deal with the Caesar Valius. Like, you can chain SP to banish itself and the Caesar, but you're not really answering that card. Jackson just sets one and passes back over to Thomas, and Thomas just looking a handful of gas right now. Immediately he's going to go field spell target Caesar, which gets met with an imperm. Well, that's actually quite interesting because I don't think you needed imperm there, right? Couldn't you just Caesar Valius, reveal the Roy, and then that blanks the SP Little Knight? You can pretty much do that without burning through your imperm, I feel like. Now that, because he has imperm, you just need to be a bit careful, make sure he's not playing into that imperm column, infamous imperm column. It's going to be start off with Razin, normal summon Razin. Now he can search for a Borga that gets him his dark attributes, so now he's all the attributes live. He can go Holy Sue, not link off for Rock, and then Rock add back the Razin for the fire, and then go Holy Sue summon, and I think that's gonna be it.
Effect Holy Sue revealing.
It depends, but Jaxon does have that one unknown card that he drew off the last turn, and maybe that is enough to close. It's a bit Holy Sue reveal Borga, and Razin to summon a Vanqush Soul from deck, which is most likely be a Jiaolong. If he summons the Jiaolong, he can then go into a rank 5 to start playing his K9 part of the deck. But just keep in mind that he did already go through the Joko. Joko is at 1, so that he can't summon out that Noroi. It is stuck in his hand. But he can actually go for Lantern and bring back the Joko. He can, yeah, so Izuna search Joko, then can summon back out the summon Lantern. Izuna search Lantern bring out Joko. The Lantern can search for the quick play if he does play it, and with the quick play, I'm pretty sure he has game. So he's gonna also go Joko, search for Izuna. Maybe he's not playing the quick play, so he hasn't activated Lantern. It's going to Nash Knight. Nash Knight's gonna detach to suck up a card, which will be the SP. And then he can then further rank up to and Jackson's seen enough. It's over. He scoops it up, and we're going into game 2. It's a very strong throwing from the VS from Thomas with his VS K9. I don't think Jaxon could have done much with that double charm in the first turn. If Thomas didn't have the Ash on top, Jaxon could have just went Deception, send the monster, and then search for Debtors, and then activate Debtors and you can activate Debtors on your opponent's turn to summon out the Omni Negate, and that doesn't give your opponent 2 draws. That's one of the things that I like about the Yummy Azamina list, is that it plays relatively well into something like a Fool Loss, because if they Fool Loss you can give them maybe 1 or 2 draws and set up 2 Omni Negates plus full Yummy combo if you have it. But in the case of like double Fool Loss, it might just be correct to just maybe not give your opponent the draw. But now we're going to game 2. Jaxon gets to go first again, and maybe this time he won't get double Fool Lost. So this is round 4, and both players are undefeated at the moment, and there'll be 3 more rounds. So if they win 2 more, they're essentially guaranteed top 8.
I'm first. Listen, good luck.
All right, so the players are shoveled up, and we're ready to begin game number 2. And I believe Jaxon would be going first.
My face. In standby.
All right, so let's start off, and it's gonna be a dimension shifter. Oh no, this is the one-off card that really just Yummy doesn't have an answer to. So he does chain Wanted to the shifter, but the Wanted does get banished here because when the shift when in Yu-Gi-Oh! Spell and Trap, when they resolve, they don't go to the graveyard straight away, but they actually go to get sent at the end of the chain resolution, so that Wanted should be banished, even if you chain it to the shifter.
Sorry.
Like on the field, shift the resolve, then the chain ends. And
Alright, sorry. Yeah.
Yep, so it is. Yep, just correcting the game. The judge just corrected game state. It is getting banished. And under shifter, you can't actually summon Diabell Star because it has to. It's part of its summoning condition is has to send a card you control from your hand or field to the grave. And because under shifter, you are not allowed to do that because you can't send cards to the grave, so you can't. You're just stuck. It also looks like Jaxon has a Draw and Lock Bird in hand, but again, under shifter, you cannot activate this card. Looks like Thomas starts with Matloff. Matloff search for Vanqush Soul start, and then because of that shifter, you can't activate the draw. So I believe Thomas just might have the green light to just go ahead and keep playing. He's going to go start, target Matloff, and that's going to search for another Vanquish Soul name. Just do keep in mind that while the strongest shifter, it does inhibit Vanquish Soul a little bit, because they does require, if their cards get banished, they're not really getting it back. So it is kind of like a big trade-off that you would have to decide whether or not it's worth for you to like commit to the board and play into your own shifter. But if you have enough cards to go for game, you generally do go for it. But it doesn't look like he's actually opened quite a bit of his Vanquish Souls. Like I see Lupus in his hand. That's not a card that you actually want to open, because normally it gets sent off by Izuna, and you can use Lupus effect to summon it back. He has committed his normal summon, so he's not unable to normal summon any of his other canines. And with Joko being at 1, it is actually the canine's just dead in the hand. Jaxon might just actually have enough to survive. If Jaxon survives this turn, going back to his turn, he has so much gas. There's so much gas, and I don't know if Thomas might have enough to stop him.
Sure.
It's gonna be the Caesar. Caesar bounce Matloff, summon out, and I believe that's it. It's just a Caesar on the field. It's just 3,000. It's passing over back to Jaxon. Jaxon has all the things in the world he can do. We know he has the Diabell Star that he searched last turn, and it looks like he has a pure raise map, so he has access to his Yummy engine, and the Diabell Star is very, very strong.
Yeah, that's fine.
Looks like start with pure raise map. That's going to search for Cupsy by paying half his life, which is 2,500. It's no chump change, but you know, if you're not at 0, you're not dead. So it's going to be the Purees map. You also search a Croaky. A Croaky is so good into Caesar, because if you destroy any monster, you can just go back into the Yummy engine, and with like the destruction, it's just very strong. So it's going to be Diabell Star, send Drawn Lockbird, and then he's going to chain the Caesar, revealing Matloff, Razan, and Lupus. But that just destroys the Diabell Star. It cuts him off from going to the Dark Magician engine, but I don't think that matters too much at this point, as Jaxon's able to then go into Deception, search for debtors, put up the Omni Negate to deny any more interactions from Thomas, and with that Copsy, he has full Yummy combo to just go in and potentially take out this game.
We're gonna flank tribute Marshall. Sure.
Yep. Deception, discard that Marshmallow. You don't want to trigger those K9 cards in Thomas's hand because Marshmallow is one of the only yummies that do activate in hand to special summon. So here comes the Ilya Sylvia. That's the Omni Negate. And now with the Omni on the field, he can just go normal Cupsy and go into full yummy combo and maybe close out the game. Excellent, excellent restraint showed by Jaxon, not playing into the shifter, because if Jaxon tried to play into the shifter, maybe he just would have lost too many resources and it wouldn't been good. So now gets the field spell, gets minion, minion summon back Cupsy. Now he can go into the Cupsy synchro to search for 2 more yummy names. He really just needs to put enough bodies on the board to just beat over the Caesar and then go for game. Interesting thing is what he can do is he can actually go surprise summon back Marshmallow, add back surprise, and then use the surprise to bounce the Caesar and the field spell, because currently the field spell does have that destruction prevention. He can, if a VS is to be destroyed by battle or card effects, he can reveal a VS in hand to prevent the destruction once per turn. But if you just go surprise to bounce both the Caesar and the field spell, there's realistically not much that he can do. And then you should be able to put up enough bodies to attack for game. It's going to link off the Cupsy for a gravity controller. So that's the much needed link one for Jaxon to continue playing. Summon Cupsy. Cupsy effect is going to target the Caesar, most likely drop its attack. And that's going to be synchroed off into Lollipo. Lollipo is going to bring back 2 yummy monsters. And again, Jaxon, all he needs to do is just to commit enough yummy monsters onto the board to attack for game. Why is that Wanted being back in the grave? That Wanted's not meant to be in the grave. Might just be an accident. So that's Lollipo. Yep. Let's see if Thomas has any more interactions here. Oh, that is the Nibiru he has in his hand. But there is that Ilya. That just, yep. Ilya trades with the Nibiru. He still has 4 monsters in play. But I don't believe that game though. So Marshall attacks, that's 3,800. He did not use the field spell to prevent the other destruction. So yeah, that might be just game. Yeah, he didn't use the field spell. He could have prevented the being destroyed by a battle once and might not have been enough to survive. A little bit of misstep here from Thomas there. But excellent play by Jaxon, choosing not to play into the shifter, just putting your opponent on better habits, and he managed to take game 2. It just goes to show that the Azamina engine in the Yami is just very, very strong. Like, with the new addition of the Dark Magician of Destruction, I just gave so much power level to this Yummy that even though Snatchy is now at 1, it doesn't seem to be slowing this deck down at all. Being able to, with being Diebell Star being a 1 card that puts up 2 Omni Negates, and also it gives you the potential to bridge into Yummy as well, is just what the deck needs. Extra consistency is always good. But now we finally get to see Thomas going first with, and we know VS K9, if they go first, if Jaxon doesn't have the hand trap or doesn't have enough hand traps, it is one of the scariest going first boards that you can see at the moment. Jaxon just counting out his side deck, making sure he has he did not side in correctly. You don't want to get any penalties with just it sliding incorrectly. That's one of the most. That's one of the things you want to avoid the most. And yeah, look, we're going to. Looks like they're all done and they're shuffling, offering opponents a cut. This is a show of good manners. I mean, it's also in the policy. You have to offer your deck to cut just to prevent any nastiness. And looks like, let's see if Jaxon has enough hand traps to stop.
Stand by.
Oh no, Thomas! Thomas has open. Here, Thomas' hand is insane. That's a shifter. That's an anti-spell. Wow.
Those are amazing effects.
And a Rasen shifter anti-spell. That is insane, but it's going to be met with an imperm. Thomas going to go for the case of K9. He's going to search for Joker. Does he have another 5 in hand? If he has another 5, he does. Yeah, I see the Izuna. So that's going to go into Ripper. Yep, Joker, summon Izuna. Does Jaxon have it? Jaxon has another imperm. But I don't think that's enough. I don't. How is Jaxon going to play under Shifter into a full VS K9 board? Joker is going to grab. Most likely, he's just going to grab Izuna. Yep, follow up. Izuna might not be the best choice because I mean you're under Shifter. But you know, maybe we'll do something. Yeah, so he's going to overlay the 2. Maybe go into the Ripper. But I don't believe Ripper is that strong into Yummy. Because you're not really negating anything. You're just searching for a follow-up. Banish the Joker. Maybe that gets met with an imperm. Second imperm coming down for Jaxon.
Sure.
But there wasn't really much else that you can do with the Ripper though. Yep, so Thomas is going to set 1. That we know it's the anti-spell with Izuna in the hand. But if because of Shifter, right? Like VS K9 is strong on the can play Shifter, but like if Jaxon outs the Ripper and the Rasen, there's really not much that Thomas can do as well. But we see the Wanted, and we see the Ghost Mono, we see the Droll in Jaxon's hand. Let's see what he can do. But if Jaxon can get rid of Thomas's 2 monsters, he's back to. No, he just passes. No, it's like, no, I don't want to play. You play. You do. You.
Sure.
Yep, it's gonna go for the Ripper. Ripper's gonna grab Lantern. And now, yeah, he can just go, that gets me for the Drone Lockbird, but I don't think that's enough. Because he does have the Izuna. The Lantern's going to grab the Izuna and go Chainlink 1 Izuna, or Chainlink 1 Lantern, Chainlink 2 Izuna. Is going to summon the other Izuna, and that's just going to be game. Yep, scoops it up. Jaxon did have a way to play, but he just was unfortunately unable to play into the Shifter. It was just once again showing just the power of Dimensional Shifter. Game 2, Jaxon played really well. Didn't play into the Shifter, but Game 3, unfortunately, there was just not much he can do into Shifter. And congratulations, Thomas, for drawing Shifter and playing very well. Yeah, excellent showing from both players. I believe Jaxon played that game 2 really well, but it was just unfortunately in that game 3, there was just nothing he could do. Thomas just opened a little bit too strong. Yeah. We'll be back with round 5 shortly, and I'll catch you guys back for round 5.